Virginia this week, playing in an all-star game with three other WVU signees. Just watching him on television, looks like he's got a very promising future. How do you break down his game overall?
Well, he's built like Superman, and he kind of looks like Clark Kent.
There you go.
But I think he's a Huggins guy. He's, I pushed him hard to West Virginia because I got a lot of respect for Coach Huggins and the job he's done, and the type. I just really like him as a person. To me, he's so genuine and a great coach. And I think Devin will excel in that system. He's been a little under-respected. And, he started like 90th in the country, ended up like 37th in ESPN. And he had an incredible season for us. And, based on his play, if the McDonald's game was based on your play and not on your reputation, he would have been in the game. So he's an excellent, he's developed into an excellent 17-foot shooter, good rebounder, excellent at screening and getting shooter shots. Got toughness about him, but he's like a big teddy bear. And I think that the community will embrace him, and he'll be a fan favorite.
Coach, I don't know how much you followed West Virginia basketball in recent years, but one guy the Mountaineer fans, really took a shine to was an All-American, Kevin Jones, who just recently left West Virginia. Is now in the NBA. And I've seen Devin several times live in it as well as on TV. He reminds me maybe more athletic than KJ, but a similar type of game. Do you know that? Who would you compare Devin to? Is my comparison at all accurate?
I think there's some accuracy there. I like to compare him to Charles Oakley, who played a long time with the Knicks.
Yeah.
6'8", went to a Division II or III school. Nobody knew who he was, but he developed his shot, great body, physical, a little bit, with respect, but a little bit annoyed that people undervalued him in scouting services and scouting reports and, ranking publications. That spurred his motivation, and again, to me, that's a Huggins-type guy. We're not, we're West Virginia. People don't think we're as good as them, and, we're going to go out there and, excuse my French, and kick some ass and get after him.
Coach, you obviously referenced how good Devin was and how much you thought of him. Is there any reason to think that he won't be able to step in right away at WVU and compete for playing time, if not start immediately?
Well, I didn't see a ton of games this year, but I've seen a part of a lot of games, and I think that he's a need for them. I don't know if there was any sit-outs or things of that nature, but, I know, and trust Coach Huggins, and I think he feels he's going to be a major contributor right away. And if that's starting or first guy off the bench, whatever Coach thinks, we support, and we're happy one of our guys is going to play for him, and if we could send more guys to West Virginia, we'd be thrilled with that. We had a great experience this year. We played in West Virginia at the cancer research game, and it was just a wonderful event, and it's a great state. My wife loved it, so we're going back for 2 games this year.
Well, good deal. We're speaking with Kevin Boyle, Montverde Academy head basketball coach, head coach of WVU signee Devin Williams. And when it comes to Devin, he's listed on Scout at 6'8", 225 pounds. Where do you see him developing size-wise in college? How much potential is there for him?
Well, I don't think he's going to get too much bigger, and I don't think you'll want him to get too much bigger in the sense of weight. Like I said, he's built like a major college, basketball player now. But to me, when I looked at him, I said West Virginia, Michigan State. Rugged, tough, in your face, scrapper, and that's the first 2 people that came to my mind. Like I said, 2 guys I had great respect for, Huggins and Izzo, and that's where I wanted to try to push him to. And he loves the game. He's always in the gym. So I think he's going to be a guy that keeps developing. He's not over the rim. He's under the rim. But he rebounds, and he's really developed his 16, 17, 18-footer. And, he wants to work, and he's got a toughness to him, from growing up where he did in Cincinnati that you're just not going to teach.
When I saw him, he had the old-school rec specs. Is that something he's going to continue?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
When I saw him, he had those old school rec specs that he wore. Is that still a style he wears?
Yes, and he should continue that because nobody else has them. It definitely sets him apart. And That's why he reminds me more of his body and nose less than your Clark Kent.
You guys had a heck of a finish.
That's the black and white version.
Yeah, I understand.
The old Clark Kent Superman show.
You guys had a heck of a finish in the national championship game this past weekend, back and forth right down to the last few seconds. I noticed that Devin wasn't on the floor at the end of the game. Was that a matchup situation or an injury, or what was the deal there?
That just happened to be a matchup situation, and I felt kind of bad about that. But he played all the time, all year. But we were in a situation where we were down, and the kid Ben Simmons, who had became eligible from Australia for us, Ben's probably the number one kid in the sophomore class in America. He's not on anybody's rankings yet because he hasn't played. But, Devin does certain things better than him, but Ben's better than Devin was at the top of the press.
Gotcha.
So it was just a thing that we in high school, a lot of times you had to go 3 guards. So it was like, he just certain, it was more of a matchup thing where the Carey Johnson was playing really well. And there's times, Devin played over the Carey in different situations, but in that particular event, the Carey who's going to Kentucky was playing at his best of what he played all year. We had to have a little more lateral quickness, full court, and Devin's good that way. But Ben's just, you're talking about another guy that's going to be an NBA player. All 3 of those guys, I think, will be in the NBA. So, it's just that we were blessed with a lot of talent, and sometimes. Everybody had their time on the bench, including Casey Hill, who's going to Florida, including the Carey Johnson.
How many D1 kids? How many D1 kids are you guys putting out this year?
Well, this year we have the starting team is going to the Carey Johnson's going to Kentucky. Casey Hill is going to Florida. Devin Williams, West Virginia. Miguel Cartagena is probably going to go to GW. It looks like, and D'Angelo Russell is. A junior who's been offered by North Carolina and LSU and Michigan State and so forth.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No.
How about your background a little bit? I know you were at St. Patrick there in New Jersey before coming out to Montverde. What's been your coaching philosophy as you've now been there at Montverde for a few years now, a couple years?
Well, again, it's one of the most beautiful schools in the country. So, it's 22 miles northwest of Orlando. So the kids, we do a boarding school, half boarding, half non-boarding of 600 high school kids. It's, on a lake. There's not a piece of paper on the ground. It's a Spanish-style white buildings with red roofs. So it's just a really beautiful campus. Kids from 54 countries, 200 from China, excellent academically, really safe, and it's kind of, I live next to an orange grove, so it's kind of quiet, but their weekend trips are Universal, Disney, SeaWorld. So it's kind of like the best of everything for kids. Great facilities. We have a $6.5 million gym that we just built. I mean, our tournament at the end of the year, the baseline, the sideline was $1,000, $3,000, and $5,000 seats for the baseline, foul line, and middle to pay for 6 seats for the tournament.
Wow, very impressive. The whole prep school experience, obviously, it seems to expand it a little bit more. Is it harder or easier to get kids to leave home nowadays to go to schools like yours that offer them, obviously, great opportunities to continue their future?
Well, I think it's a part of it's the school. The other part is I've been involved in this for a long time. I had the good fortune of coaching Kyrie Irving and Michael Gilchrist and the number 1 and 2 picks in the last 2 drafts, and several other pros and 10 guys in Europe. So we've had a lot of kids that call. We get, I got 4 calls today. We just won a national championship, so I'm getting bombarded with phone calls of kids who would like to, visit a school and look at the school. So, and we're actually, people don't realize, we're not a prep school. We're an academy. We're a 4-year school. We don't take 5th-year kids, and we're part of the Florida High School Association. We choose not to enter the state tournament because we think we have an unfair advantage being a boarding school. So we don't think it's fair to the rest of the schools that we have kids that are coming from different countries.
Well, good deal, Coach. We really do appreciate the time. We'll let you go, and we're looking forward to seeing Devin in here on Saturday and then in a Mountaineer uniform next season.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. There you go. Kevin Boyle, Montverde Academy head basketball coach.